good evening. So, something I want to be better about doing is talking about good things. And I think it'll help with some perspective shifts. I think one challenge is when you're around certain environments, it's just easy to start thinking and believing the messages that are, put your way. And so for me, I think there are a few things that I'm noticing that I want to just work on, just being more positive about. And I think one way to accomplish that is focusing on some positive things. And so, one thing is my husband has a gnarly story, but, and I won't get into it, because that's his story to share. But long story short, I feel really proud of us, for just making the most with, the resources that God's given us and just trying to be responsible with those things, like living within our means. And we bought a place, but we bought a place that we're like, well, there's only two of us, so it doesn't need to be this, really big place. But, I think our culture can say like, yeah, you need to have the biggest and best and nicest place or car or, whatever. And so then it's easy to struggle with being grateful, for what we have. And so, I really want to combat, scarcity mindsets and inferiority messages. And I don't think anybody that's close to me is intentionally trying to put me down or make me feel less. But with different comments about, people making more or people having bigger houses, like it can just settle in ways that aren't the most helpful. And I'm so grateful, one, that I married my husband because he does not care about what people think. And that's really helpful for me because I do care about what people think. And so that's one thing I'm just like, wow, I'm so grateful that we ended up together. And there's plenty of times when I'm like, you know what? This guy is driving me crazy with his forgetfulness or whatever. But I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be married to him and grateful for our friendship, and his patience with me. So yeah, one thing I'll say for today, and actually I'm going to share more than one thing, but one thing that really impacted me today was we were trying to carpool, and we did. So we carpooled to meet some friends, but he had work after we were going to hang out with him. So our plan was to go to the farmer's market, which is 30 minutes out of town, meet up with friends, hang out with them, and then go to a graduation party for a friend's daughter who is maybe like 20 minutes from where we were, maybe 15, probably 15 minutes from where we were. And then I was going to drop him off at work and pick him up after. And if I wasn't able to pick him up after because I'm on call tonight, he was going to bike home. So we had the bike in the car. I was like, hey, do you have your headlight or do you have your bike light and helmet and et cetera, et cetera. So he was set up. Meanwhile, I did not realize that I forgot my wallet, phone, and I thought my keys at home. And so I was walking around with my friend and was like, ooh, I saw some cute earrings, was going to buy them. And I love to support local, by the way. And then realized I didn't have my wallet. I was like, I knew I didn't have my phone, but then when I was getting ready to, or I didn't say I was going to buy it, but I was thinking about buying something. And I was like, well, don't have my wallet either. Okay. So I can't drop him off at work since I don't have my wallet. I need him to drop me off. And I think the thing I appreciate about David is he's just so kind and patient. And so, yeah, he didn't give me a hard time. He was just like, all right, let's just go back to the house. Meanwhile, he didn't have much fuel in his car. And so when we got back to our place, I was like, okay, how about you take my car and then I'll put gas in your car. And so we did that. And I didn't end up dropping him off at work because then I had to look for my wallet. And I quickly found my wallet, but it was just more time efficient for him to just take my car because my car had gas. But I just appreciate that, he wasn't condescending. He wasn't mean. He wasn't like stressed out. Even though like we were kind of cutting it close with him being able to clock in on time. But I just felt like he handled that situation with so much grace, and I really appreciated that. I think I'll share 3 good things for today. 2, I really enjoyed hanging out with our friends, and I think something I appreciate about them is like they're just so genuine. They're just really genuine people, and also very brave and entrepreneurial, and it's just cool to be around them. And I really enjoyed going to the market with them. It was just really fun. And their daughter is, just a firecracker and really, really fun to be around. So that was enjoyable. And then 3, one of my girlfriends reached out and asked if I wanted to hang out with her because she was free today. And the fireworks are starting. This area, the fireworks are intense. Okay. Anywho, so I was like, sure, yeah, So we went to this tea house, super cute. Meanwhile, my friend, she's lived here about a year. She moved from Atlanta, and she just finds the cutest places. The way she describes it is like, like I like to go to places where it's an upgraded experience. I'm like, okay, yeah, like I don't mind a basic experience, but I'm also open to an upgraded experience. So we went to a tea house, and yeah, I just caught up, which was neat. We looked at houses because she's thinking about buying a place, and then the tea house closed, so it was 4:00, and the guy walked up to us, the one of the workers at the tea house, and was like, oh, so we're closed now. And we were like, okay. He's like, yeah, so I'm just like trying to politely kick you out. And I appreciated, 1, his bluntness, 2, his kindness. Like, he was still being kind, even though he was being blunt. And then we ended up talking as we were walking out, and he gave us some pointers about making matcha at home. He's like, yeah, it helps to have like a good quality matcha. And I was like, oh yeah, I have good quality matcha, believe me. Yeah, it's good quality, but still it's way more better than your guys's. And he's like, oh yeah, it's all about like the whisk and the temperature, of the water, which I need to tell my husband because he's usually the one that drinks matcha, but it's probably burning the matcha. And so anyway, I just felt like that was really positive. It was just really positive. And then I'm on call for work. So I was on call on Tuesday night, Tuesday to Wednesday. And I guess I have 5 things. Okay. Bear with me. So Tuesday night I was on call. So I got off of work, I don't know, maybe like 6. It was supposed to be off by 6. So I think I was off like 6:15. And then I started call at 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. And I just really appreciated that I didn't get called in. I really appreciated that. 1, I started a new eye medication because I'm at a high risk for glaucoma, developing glaucoma, and I already have elevated ocular pressure. So I started latanoprost, and unfortunately, even though most people don't have a reaction to it, I did, and it was really uncomfortable. Like my eyes were, just really irritated. So I just had a lot of eye pain and at times blurry vision, and then I don't typically get headaches, but I was getting ocular pressure and headaches. And at one point I was just feeling nauseous. It was just not a good situation. But I really appreciated that the eye center got me in for an emergency appointment the same day I called, because I called on Wednesday. And so I got to see them. I was supposed to go to acupuncture. And they say, like, if you don't cancel with more than 24-hour notice, then you'll be charged a certain amount. They waived that fee. They're like, this is a medical, you're canceling for a medical reason, and you've, over communicated. So we're going to waive the fee for you, which I was just like, I mean, I'm okay paying the fee because I've read the fine print, but I just think my eyes are the priority. And I need to just get this taken care of. And I'm like, oh my gosh, not a problem at all. So I really appreciated that. And then, so this is getting longer than I expected, but I'm not going to share good things every day. So it's like maybe just like little videos here and there. But one, I think having my reaction just made me so grateful. I was like, man, I'm so grateful that I have the privilege and the ability to see. And I don't know, unfortunately, like how long I'm going to have that privilege. But I think just even the threat of losing my vision, I have multiple people in my family who have developed adult onset blindness. And so, and who've had glaucoma and anyway. And so, yeah, I think it just gave me more appreciation. Like, I'm really grateful and it is a privilege. Yeah, so I do want to protect my eyesight or, prolong my eyesight. And then, yeah, so, part of the reason we moved to Washington was because we were pursuing an adoption, an international adoption, and the agency we're working with is out of Washington. And so, yeah, so that was part of the reason why we moved. And, on our anniversary, we found out that, the adoption was not going to move forward. And so, it was a failed adoption. And so that was hard. It was hard news, but something I appreciated was we went to see when colored girls who have considered suicide. And it was such a good play. It was so good. And I think the thing that hit me, there were a lot of things that hit me, but I think something that hit me was just remembering like grief and difficult times is a common and shared human experience. And as much as, you can look on Facebook or Instagram or talk to people, they're like, wow, like you can get disillusioned, and think like, oh my gosh, everybody's life is amazing. And there's amazing things, don't get me wrong, but I think it was helpful to go into the play with a heavy heart, and just grief, and then be met with joy and laughter and grief and pain and frustration and anger and all these different emotions, and just realize like it's okay to feel, and it's okay to feel. I don't want to say I don't always like saying negative emotions, but emotions that aren't advertised as like these happy go lucky hee hee ha ha moments. And but yeah, so like just I think it was powerful to see sadness and pain and grief and fear and these different emotions that I was also processing through. So really appreciated that. And then I think too, the other thing is just little kindnesses. Like I didn't tell everybody about the adoption failing, but I did text a group of friends, who were consistently asking about the adoption. And I think I really appreciated being met with so much kindness. I'm more of like a texting girl nowadays. And so lots of people texted and, just were kind and gave condolences. And then also a friend called, and I think her calling just meant so much to me. It just meant so much to me. And I know adoption can be kind of tricky. Some people have some very strong feelings against it. In our situation, I think, so we were trying to support family that's in Mexico by like adopting just because that was the way, things would work the best legally, but really just trying to foster my brother-in-law's nephew, and then him like just essentially learning English, having a different experience until he turned 18. He was already 15, but until he turned 18, and then deciding if you want to go back to Mexico or stay in the States, but just having that opportunity. And so at the same time, we just knew there was no guarantee. We knew that we wanted to be very clear that we respected his, and he wasn't an orphan either. So that's also something that made it complicated, but that we're going to support whatever him and his mom decided. And also communicated that we were available to help. And so, yeah, they, this is something we've been working on for like 2 years, essentially. And we kept telling them along the way, like, if at any point you change your mind, just let us know. If you change your mind, we are here to support you. And so they changed their mind. And I think it was an opportunity to uphold the message that we gave them. Like, hey, we're here to support you. We're not here to intimidate you. We're not here to coerce you ever. And I also felt proud of them for saying, like, okay, now thinking about it more, we don't want to do this. And it's like, that's okay. It's like, I can grieve and at the same time be proud of you. And I think it was helpful to have those mixed emotions. And two, it's like, I was grateful that we didn't go to court in Mexico and start that process, but like we were still, like stateside and doing things where, there were just different things that were done before we had to go there and go to court. And so I think that was also a kindness, timing wise, for them to have that realization and clarity. And that's something I prayed for too. And so it's like, okay, I think even praying about it gave me more peace with the outcome. Like it made grieving, just like more of a peaceful experience to me. And yeah, so really, I think there's a lot of negative things that we can focus on in life, like focus on the person that doesn't treat you well, or focus on the hurtful comment that's made, or focus on whatever insecurity or shortcoming you perceive that you have, or other people perceive that you have. But I think uplifting mindsets and reframing situations can sometimes just be so helpful. And it's not to have a Pollyanna approach to life, but I think it is like a way to not get lost in, just things that aren't as positive. And so I think that's something that I'm just realizing I want to practice. Hopefully it helps other people, to hear like, oh yeah, I also am grateful for my eyesight, or I'm also grateful, to have friends in my life that show up during hard times, or I'm grateful that I'm that person, for others, or whatever it is. Like, hopefully, we can just foster as a person watching this, now we're in community, that who we are as people and as a community, hopefully we can just, share some positivity and uplift people in the process. So I hope this finds you in a place where you're leaving just feeling a little bit more uplifted, a little bit more hopeful, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.